Picture this. The rising stars of a powerful political party caught exchanging deeply offensive messages in a private chat, sparking outrage and shakeups at the highest levels. It's a story that hits close to home for anyone who values decency in leadership, and it's got everyone talking. But here's where it gets controversial. Could this be a setup, or is it just kids being kids in the fast-paced world of politics? Last week, the New York Republican Party took decisive action by suspending its state Young Republicans chapter, all because of a bombshell report from Politico. This article exposed a string of racist and anti-Semitic exchanges among a handful of up-and-coming Republican leaders from across the nation. These weren't just casual chats. They included harsh slurs targeting Black and Latino communities, glowing praise for Adolf Hitler, and sick jokes about sending political foes to gas chambers. It's the kind of content that makes you wonder how far we've drifted from basic respect in our discourse. To understand this better, let's break it down. Politico dug into a private group text thread, uncovering messages that crossed serious lines. Importantly, NBC News hasn't fact-checked these messages ourselves, but the report paints a troubling picture. We reached out to the New York State Young Republicans for their side of the story. And while we're waiting on a response, it's clear this has shaken the party. In a statement released after the vote, New York GOP Chair Ed Cox didn't mince words. He described the state Young Republicans as grossly mismanaged and declared that such vile language has absolutely no place in the Republican Party or any of its groups. It's a strong stance, emphasizing the need for accountability in political organizations, especially those grooming the next generation of leaders. For beginners in politics, think of it like this. Political parties are like teams, and when members break the rules of fair play, the whole team suffers, leading to suspensions, just like in sports. 3 key figures from the New York State Young Republicans were named in the report. Peter Giunta, the group's chair, Bobby Walker, the vice chair, and Joe Maligno, who previously served as general counsel. Each responded differently, adding layers to the drama. Walker issued an apology to Politico, admitting there was no excuse for the hurtful language attributed to him, and expressing sincere regret. He even suggested that some messages might have been altered, taken out of context, or manipulated in some way. Giunta echoed that sentiment, apologizing profusely for the insensitive and inexcusable language in what he described as a massive chat with over 28,000 messages from his leadership campaign. He joined Walker in claiming possible deception, like the messages being deceptively doctored. On top of that, Giunta pointed fingers at another New York GOP youth group, the New York Young Republican Club, for allegedly leaking the chats. And this is the part most people miss. The NYRC quickly fired back, stating they have no affiliation with the state Young Republicans and are completely separate entities. They even put out a clarification on their website to set the record straight, highlighting how misunderstandings can escalate in the heat of political rivalries. Maligno, however, has stayed silent on the matter, leaving his role in this unclear and adding to the mystery. Meanwhile, Cox pointed out that several prominent New York Republicans had already voiced their condemnation, including members of the congressional delegation. It's a reminder of how interconnected these political networks are, and why public figures often feel compelled to distance themselves from such controversies. Take Representative Mike Lawler, for example. He called the comments deeply offensive and hateful, and urged immediate resignations from leadership roles. He emphasized that these leaders need to reflect on straying from basic human respect and decency. Similarly, Representative Elise Stefanik's spokesperson condemned the chats in the original report, and the Congresswoman herself tweeted that elected officials had rightfully held the Young Republicans accountable, noting these were internal leaders in a young professionals group, not even candidates for public office. This isn't an isolated incident. New York joins Kansas as the second statewide Republican group to dismantle its Young Republicans chapter over similar allegations. Just earlier this week, the Kansas Republican Party disbanded their chapter after two leaders were accused in the Politico report of using racial slurs and admiring Hitler. Kansas Young Republicans Chair Alex Dwyer chose not to comment, while Vice Chair William Hendricks ignored requests for a statement. It's a pattern that's raising eyebrows about how widespread these issues might be. But here's where it gets controversial. Vice President J.D. Vance jumped in to defend the accused leaders, arguing that young people often say dumb things. In an appearance on The Charlie Kirk Show, Vance said, "Kids do stupid things, especially young boys. They tell edgy, offensive jokes. That's just what kids do." He passionately advocated against letting a stupid joke in a 21-year-old's chat destroy someone's future, calling it BS and urging society to move on. This stance has split opinions. Some see it as compassionate understanding of youthful mistakes, others as downplaying serious hate speech. It's a counterpoint that invites debate. Should we forgive and forget? Or stand firm on zero tolerance for bigotry? Adding context, Vance and President Donald Trump's 2024 victory brought notable gains among young voters, especially men. Trump's support from men aged 18 to 29 jumped 8 percentage points from 2020, per NBC News exit polls. This success among youth might explain why defending the kids feels so important to some in the party. After all, they're the future base. What do you think? Is this a teachable moment for stricter vetting in political groups, or an overreaction to harmless venting? Should young leaders face harsher scrutiny? Or does Vance have a point about not ruining lives over mistakes? And could these chats really be manipulated, as some claim? We'd love to hear your take. Agree, disagree, or share a similar story in the comments below. Alexandra Marquez is a politics reporter for NBC News.